Okay, hi everybody. Sweet. So we wanted to take the opportunity today to show you a little bit what's coming up in Playground. And when I say what's coming up, it's like in the very, very near future, couple days probably. I think some of you might remember that probably a few months ago already. Gosh, time flies. We had started talking about this thing called Playground Stories, I think. Does that ring a bell to some of you? So we called it Playground Stories. Playground Stories is really a term to describe sort of a set of tools, or rather something that allows you to build playgrounds in a more interactive way. I'll show you, of course, in detail what that means, but essentially what right now playgrounds, as you might know, you as the teacher are kind of like the life of the party. You're kind of the one making things come to life, right? Otherwise, things are relatively static. I mean, there's the images and they can move them around, and that's cool and all. It's served its purpose, but for a lot of times, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this. You are the one animating what's going on. You're making up the stories. You're making up how things react, and we wanted to take things a step further by introducing some mechanisms that allow you, the teacher, to create things that are more interactive and alive on their own. That said, you can still participate, of course, and sort of animate things, but we also wanted to give you tools so that you can build stories, I guess. That's why it's called Playground Stories. So this is sort of a first step. We're taking that direction, and we have a few things that we'd like to show today, but keep in mind that we're going to have more features that are going to come out of this effort. Okay, that probably confuse even more of you guys, but sorry about that. I think a demo will be worth 1,000 words, and we have people still trickling in here, so I want to give an opportunity for people to join first. Well, I kind of started off here in the basic summer playground. And some of you might already notice some things that are a little different from how things are today. Anybody noticing anything different?
The blocks look a little bit like round.
Yep, that's correct. As a matter of fact, look at this tree. Looks a little bit rounded, right?
That tree looks a lot better.
Yeah. So we spent a little bit of time trying to revamp the visuals a little bit. I think so there were a lot of folks, including us, that were a little bit sick of the blocky feeling that the original playground would communicate. I was probably the first one who was kind of a little bit sick of it, but I think I wasn't the only one. So we're trying to explore, and I don't know if some of you hate it already, but we're trying to explore a different visual, different feel a little bit to Playground. And this is, again, a first step towards that as well. So I'd love to hear your impressions. I can do a before and after comparison here if you want. This is old. This is what you have currently. And this is new. Maybe I should, well, actually, Tammy, do you mind streaming this on Facebook? I forgot to do that.
No problem.
Thank you. Okay, so let me try to reorient this a little bit. Any apparent differences that jump to mind apart from the rounded blocks? First of all,
yeah, it looks a lot more organic. The trunk has a curve in it. Looks a lot better to me.
The colors are muted a little.
This is experimental, so of course, like having your feedback is really helpful.
I'm okay with both.
You say what?
I'm okay with both.
You're okay with both?
New. Prefer the new. I prefer the old. Both.
Okay.
Like new. I'm just gonna say new.
The first one looks brighter.
This
The
one.
The old.
The old.
The old is brighter. This is brighter.
More
Interesting.
vibrant.
This is more vibrant than this?
Yes.
Yeah, the first is more vibrant, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Huh. So we were actually trying to aim for more vibrant colors in the new visuals, but I'm hearing that you guys think this is actually more vibrant.
On my screen, it's more vibrant. The old is more vibrant.
Interesting.
It's
Okay.
like more saturation.
I
Vehiculate.
think the new
yeah.
one looks more saturated to me. Like the new one does look different to me,
Yeah.
color wise.
Okay.
So it might just be the screens.
We're gonna try this a little bit more. Another thing that we've introduced in the new visual style is that there's more like shadows. If you look at, for example, here in the corner, see how the old one didn't really have that much depth to it. It was kind of hard to distinguish or to see the shadows here. There's a little bit, but it's very subtle. Whereas in the new playground, shadows are a lot more accentuated.
Yeah.
So it's much easier to I think for depth perception. So for example, if you look at the tree here, this is the old one where, I mean, you can see the depth because you're looking at the shapes, but if you just look at the lighting, it's hard to understand the depth. Whereas here, you can already see that there's more depth because the shading is different. It's a little bit more realistic. Let me show you what it looks like when you start placing blocks. First of all these little renders here have been redone to be rounded. But when you place blocks, maybe let's demonstrate with the stone block. So I'm just going to place a stone block here, but as soon as you place it, it's round. So what happens if I put a block on top? This is what happens. What happens if I put a block on the side? This is what you're going to get. So you can start
It
building like
Kind
this.
of looks like it's being clay that's being molded
Exactly.
in a way.
Yeah, it's a little bit more like clay, more like an organic feeling, like David said earlier. That was a good way to describe it. This is for one of the new things coming up. Rounded blocks and shaded, more shadows. I'll say it like that. Cool. What else is new? Well, we have a whole new category. So if I click on add blocks up, you might have already seen it. Let me zoom in a little bit here. We have a category called story tools. It's going to be this category. Now, this is not available by default for students, but you can allow them to use that by using the permissions. And by default, it is not available. And maybe let me explain what it is and how it works. I'm going to click on it. When you click on it, you're presented with two categories. We call them action zones and reaction props. So if you're familiar with the phrase, action, reaction, that's what we were aiming at with this. There are certain things that cause actions and there's certain things that will react to those actions. Hopefully this is clear for everybody so far. Okay, so how does it work? Let's start maybe by opening up the reaction props. We call them reaction props. And really, if I click on this, you'll see that it's just a bunch of objects, just like you're used to all the other home and decor objects that we have, except let's use, for example, grab this wooden door that I already own. I'm going to place it in the world. Maybe I'll place it over here. Maybe rotate it first, so it's facing. Okay, except when I click on it, it animates, something happens. So this door, for example, if I click on it, it opens.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah. So by default, a reaction prop will respond to you clicking on it. Same for chest, for example. I'm going to place a chest over here. If I click on it, it opens. You can even go in the chest. You can, of course, put things in the chest if you want and then close it. And then close it.
Will there be ways for like those things like the chest or the door to be locked so they had to do something to unlock it?
Absolutely. They're reading my mind.
Okay.
That's the next thing I'm going to show.
Awesome. This is
For now-
cool.
For now, yeah, so just what I'm just showing right now is that a reaction prop by default will react to you or the student clicking on it. Now, another thing that we've changed before I get into action zones and how to do all this stuff, all objects, whether it's reaction props or even normal objects like the mailbox or the whiteboard, behave now like sticky notes or images, meaning when I click on it, I select it. And notice that by default it's locked, but now I can unlock it.
Nice.
And objects can now be moved, just like stickies or images. So you don't have to do the whole trick of having to delete the object
Subtle.
first and then placing it again. That was really
That's
pain.
super helpful.
So all objects can now be moved, including the mailbox, including everything. Okay. and fences. Just don't forget to unlock it if it's locked. And you can also rotate it too after it's been placed. So you can just rotate the object just like that, using the same controls you would use for sticky notes or images.
Yes.
Okay, you can delete it using the trash button too. So the objects are now what I call draggables. And it goes also for, of course, reaction props. Just if you don't want it to be moved by the student, remember to just lock it. Now it's a little bit confusing. If you lock the chest, you're not really locking its ability to open or close. You're just locking its ability to move. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Any questions?
Can you
on-
put things in
Yeah.
the treasure chest? Like
Yeah.
when they open it, there's
Definitely.
stuff in the treasure chest?
Absolutely. Let's put images, for example.
Okay.
I'll
Can
put
the
a carrot.
avatar hide in the chest?
I
Yeah,
don't know
could
that
you
they
get
can
stuck in
hide.
there?
Yeah, probably. You can probably get stuck in there. I don't. Oh, yeah. I think I'm stuck. No, I'm not stuck. I can jump out.
Okay.
It's not. You don't really get stuck. It just pushes you out of it when you. I'll put my cat in there too. Here we go. I'll put the cat in the chest. I'll close the chest. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, you can definitely put things in there. You can even put objects, like for example, now that things can be dragged. For example, if I get Mr. Glixel here, everybody likes Mr. Glixel. Well, you can place Mr. Glixel in the chest. Let me move him actually in just like that, and then close the chest. Oh, well, his antenna's sticking out. Kind of giving his position over here. You can put things in the chest. Yes.
Great.
Ben?
Yep.
Can we get like a gem button in there where they can open it up and there's a certain number of gems and they can
That's-
automatically get
That's a
those
cool idea.
gems?
That's a cool idea. I think yes, that would be really cool. I think we can probably do this with the action zone, which I'm going to show right now. But that's a really cool idea. I like it. It could be like a present, a gift present that they can click on it and it opens and it gives them the gems or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
or
cool.
like an actual pirate treasure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And speaking of presents, it'd be cool if like something like that we had like one that looked like a gift. So maybe if it was like a kid's birthday or something,
Yep.
they could have like a special like present that they
That
open
opens up.
during the class. Yeah. Cool.
Abby, hopefully you're taking notes right now. I'll make sure Abby knows about this. Abby's creating lots of other reaction prompts too. She's creating like a trapdoor and a portal and all this stuff. So there's going to be more reaction props coming. And one of them could be a present. We were thinking also like fireworks and stuff like that. In any case, so that's for reaction props. I didn't show them all. We have lots of different ones. We have a gate, so you can place it anywhere. And when you click on it, it'll just open like that.
Okay, before you go any further, can I go through some questions?
Yes, please. I'm sure there's billions of
Okay.
questions. Please go ahead.
So will old playgrounds automatically convert to new look?
Yes, automatically.
That's
correct.
So it'll become rounded. That's what they're asking.
It will become rounded.
Very cool, awesome. Okay, there's a lot of this is cool. Drag and drop, the kids would be able to drag.
Only
Yep.
if you unlock it, of course.
Yes.
It'll be locked, but if you unlock it, they can drag it. Yeah.
Okay, that's all. The rest is just, it's fun.
Anything on
the idea.
Facebook, by the way?
That's it. I think you need to share it because I couldn't. I asked Xavier, but he's
Okay,
busy.
okay. Okay. I don't know if I can easily share it because I'm not the host anymore.
I'll change.
Oops, sorry.
I'm gonna make
Okay.
you the host.
Well,
or
we could
not.
I mean, it's recording anyway, so at the end I'll stop
Okay.
the recording and we can put it on Facebook anyways. So people
Ben,
can-
quick question on the
Yes.
kids. So if they place the object,
Yep.
then it's not locked and they can
No.
do the drag and drop and
That's
turn
correct.
around.
So
Okay.
objects by default, when you place them, are not locked. What's going to be locked is by default is the old object that you've already placed. So let's say today, currently with the old playground, you already have objects. All those objects are going to be converted to locked objects. So old objects that you already have in your current playground today are going to have to be unlocked by you for the student to move them. New objects that are going to be placed starting from when this is released, like this chair, will be draggable by default.
Okay.
Okay.
So will there be a way to, like, once we build a playground, can we lock everything and then when the kids come in, then they can, their objects that they're placing into our playgrounds, they can then move those? Will there be some kind of switch like that?
To lock all of them? Well, the ones, like I said, the ones that you already have in your playground right now are all going to be locked by
Right,
default.
but a new playground.
But new playgrounds, yeah, we don't have a way to lock all objects right now all at once.
Okay.
But
How
you
does
know,
that work with copying a playground? Will, when I copy a playground, will that new playground be locked as well? Like the
whatever state your objects are in the original playground will be copied over to the new playground. So if you have a
Awesome.
locked object in playground A and you copy it into playground B, then it will be locked as well.
Perfect.
Okay. Very good question. Any other questions? Okay, so of course, for example, a door or a gate, when it's closed, you can't go through. You can try to walk through it, but it won't work. When it's open, however, you can. Just want to make sure that it has like some physical property here. It's not just for show. Okay. Now let's go back to the story tools menu. And in the story tool menu, there's the action zones option over here. And this is where it gets interesting. Let me demonstrate this. Let me explain. Let's say, for example, I want this door to open only if the student moves a carrot in a certain area. This is kind of a silly use case, but let's say, for example, my carrot here is a key. I really should have a key image that would show this a little bit better. Let's say I have a key hiding over here. Carrot is hiding here, and I want this door over here to open only if the student has found the carrot, for example. Well, we can do this with action zones. Let me show how it works. I'm going to click on this, and it first shows, well, what is an action zone, and so it tries to give you a little bit of a tutorial. Sorry if it's not super clear, but I'm going to add an action zone by clicking on this button. When you click on this button, you'll see that at the end of your cursor, you have this like thing that kind of looks like it's burning. So it's hard to really put your finger on what this is, but it's a zone with like things like a ghost ectoplasm around it. Okay, so you can place it wherever you want. For example, I'll place it here right next to the door. And next thing you see is this. As a matter of fact, when I hover over this action zone figure box over here, it shows me which one in the world is being hovered over. So it goes orange when I hover over it, right? This is so that if I have multiple action zones like this, I know which one is which. So here I know it's the one on the bottom. Here I know it's the one at the top. Cool. So let me remove this one for now, and we're going to keep only one for now. Okay, next thing it tells you is drag images and or sticky notes into this action zone. Okay, so we're going to drag the carrot in here. Let me go get my carrot that was hiding right here. Okay, let's grab the carrot and let's put it in the action zone. Cool. Step 2, press the button below to configure it to react to what it contains. Okay, so we're going to click on this button, and now notice that it goes green. If I take the carrot out of it, it goes white again. If I put the carrot back in, it goes green. So the green symbolizes the fact that it's active, quote unquote. It's like if you imagine a sensor. It's like a sensor that you just program to detect whether it has a carrot in it or not. Just like that. So when I press this button here that you saw earlier and it's still there, it'll resense what's in it and reprogram itself with whatever's inside of it. So for example, instead of a carrot, let's put a sticky note. I'll just add a little sticky note over here that says, I don't know, say carrot. And let's go back to my action zone menu. Sorry. So story tools, action zones. If I move the sticky note instead now in the action zone and I click sense, this button, it will now be configured to be active only if it contains the sticky note carrot. So now if I try to put the carrot in it instead of the sticky note, notice that nothing happens. It stays white. But if I put the sticky note in it, it goes green. Another really cool thing that you can do is you can actually have it react to multiple things inside. So if I put the carrot and the sticky note and I say sense, now it tells you active if contains the carrot and the sticky note. So it needs to have both to be active. If I only have one, it stays white. If I have both, it goes green. Any questions so far on this? I mean, it's already a lot of information. I want to make sure that you guys have time to
What
digest.
happens if your sticky note is only halfway in? Does it still register it?
No, it needs to, the center of it needs to be inside.
Okay, so if
So
you
let me-
have a
let me show the-
larger image,
Yeah.
then it needs to be centered.
It needs to be centered on it. I would recommend, so you can also make the action zone bigger if you want,
Okay,
or smaller. Notice that I have these controls on my action zone. I can make it
that
narrower,
was my next question.
bigger. There's no, there's a limit to how small, but there's no limit to how big. So you can really make them the size that you want. A really cool thing is actually to put them in the chest, but I'll show this after. It's a little bit more advanced.
And you put it on the door.
So let me show this. Right now, it's great. It goes green, but it doesn't do anything. It just goes green. It detects when there's a sticky note carrot in it right now. That's all it does. It knows when there's a sticky note in it. It doesn't do anything. It's not causing a reaction. It's just sensing what's in it. I didn't show this, but you can also move it. Once you've placed it, you can still move it to a different place if you want, like that. Using the move button, you can just move it wherever you want. Okay, but notice there's another field in the action zone here, the little box called connections.
Okay,
right
before you
now-
go there, I'm gonna
Oh,
stop you.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So we can do one at a time.
Yeah.
So Emily was asking, can it be a duplicate or new copy of these images or sticky notes?
Yes. So what's
So obviously
important?
lock and clone.
Yeah, what's important is what the content. So if you duplicate the carrot, it'll react in the same way as if it was the original carrot. It doesn't have to be a specific carrot. As long as it's a carrot, it'll recognize that it's a carrot. So it's a smart sensor in a way. When it comes to sticky notes, what it detects is it looks at the text and the color. So if I, for example, have a sticky note that says carrot on it, but it's green instead, then that won't be recognized as the sticky note that activates. So for example, if I do this, it goes green, but if I do this, it doesn't because the color is not the right color. And if I make it orange instead, then it goes green.
Awesome.
Yeah, good question. Any other questions?
Yes. Is there a way to make it trigger one or the other, or only if both are inside?
So one or the other. So you can do this right now. It's programmed to only detect the carrot sticky note, but I can also program it to detect the image. So this is one. Oh, you mean like if it has one or the other? So either one or the other. Well, yeah. Right now it's only ands. We could add an or. I think there's a way to do an or anyways. I could probably show this with multiple action zones, but I'll show this later. But yeah, right now it's only and. So it really has to have exactly the combination that you've programmed it to have. So if it has to have, for example, one sticky note carrot and two images of carrots, notice that it says here, it requires 2 carrots and the sticky note. And this is the combination that will make the sticky note active. If it has more than that, let's say it has an intruder. I'll call this one intruder, just for the demo. Intruder. If it has an intruder, notice that it goes white because the intruder is not supposed to be there. So it really needs to have the exact combination that you programmed. Okay. Cool. All right. So any other questions?
No, that's all.
Cool. All right. So now what do we do with this with these action zones? Of course, an action zone is on its own is not very useful, but it gets useful when you start connecting it to a reaction prop. And you connect it using that plus button. So I'm going to click on the plus button. And when you click on the plus button, notice that at the end of your cursor, there's like a line that starts at the action zone and that ends where your cursor is. And wherever your cursor is, there's like a ball. So you have to imagine it's like a wire coming out of the sensor that you're holding right now. And you can go and plug it in to a reaction zone, or reaction prop, sorry. So if I want to plug it into that door, I just drag on the door. It'll actually snap on the door. So it detects that you're trying to connect it to the door. It snaps to the door, shows that it's green, and then you can click. And now we have a connection between the action zone and the door. So now that the door is connected to an action zone like this, if I try to click on the door, nothing happens. Okay, so the student will be able to open the door just like by clicking on it anymore. The only way to open the door now is to make sure that the action zone connected to it is active. Now remember, this action zone is active if it contains 2 carrots and 1 sticky note carrot. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to move the sticky note carrot in it. Great. Got 1 carrot, 2 carrots, and bam, it opens. Okay, and it even shows you it's green. It's like an electrical signal that goes in the wire, and then opens the door. Okay, so you can see even the connections here. So it shows you it's connected to the door. Okay, cool. Any questions on this? So if I of course remove the carrot out of the action zone, it'll close again. Now your student won't see this connection. By default, when you are not in the action zone menu, let's say you're like this, all they see is the action zone, but they don't see there's a connection here. Okay. Just want to make clear that that's the case. Connections are invisible. It's like the wires are inside the wall or something. But they do see the action zone, however. Okay, any questions?
Can you configure 3 action zones or more? Sorry, wait, it's coming in here.
Okay.
In order to unlock the door, chest, etc.
Yes. Okay, so there's a couple of things we can do here. Before we get into complicated things, I wanted to make sure that the basics are clear. So if there's any other basic question on this, I'd love to answer it. Otherwise, we'll move on to the more advanced stuff you can do with this.
Okay, I'll give you the basic ones.
Yeah.
So they might have to go search for the door that opened.
They might have to go search for it. Of course, the idea is that you should build your playground so that it flows as a story. So you can guide them through drawings, through text, through images. Maybe you could have an image of like a combination lock here, or of a keyhole or something that indicates that it's for the door. So it's going to be up to you. We're not forcing any specific pattern. We're just giving you this tool that you can use as a supplement to your playgrounds so that you can make them really come to life. Things will react to things being moved around. That's the idea.
Can the action, sorry, as I read it pops up. Can the action zones make text appear or a sticky note pop up?
Not yet, but that's coming up. That's definitely something we want to do. Right now, the action zone only allows to open reaction props. But yes, that's definitely something we like to do.
Well, you could put it behind the door, so when
You
they
could do that.
open the door, there's a sign.
Or we could put it in the chest. I didn't show all the reaction props that we have, but we have a bunch. We even turned the fridge that was already there into a reaction prop. So now if you place the fridge, you'll notice that if I click on it, it opens up and you can put things in it now. Okay, I'm gonna delete the fridge for now. But yeah, we have but we'll add more maybe basic ones. It would be cool to have like something that just opens to show you something that's inside, or I don't know, we'll think about it. There's many possibilities here that we can add. Any other question about this?
Can you connect action zones to each other, like configuring answers for a matching game?
Yeah, so you wouldn't do that. However, okay, I guess we need to move on to the next part. What you can, however, do is say I'm going to add a new action zone. I'm going to put it right above this one. Okay, and I'm going to reprogram this one. I'm going to say I'm going to delete this connection. And what I'm going to say is what I want this door to open only if the student puts the sticky note carrot at the top and the image carrot at the bottom. Right, so I really want to have this combination like this set up so that this is the right answer I'm looking for, basically. And the way you're going to do this is, of course, configure your action zones to show the answer you're looking for. So here I want this to contain the sticky note carrot, and I want this to contain the image carrot. So now they're both active. I can just connect both of them to the same door. Sorry. If I do this, notice that it has those two connections to the door. Now the door will only open if both action zones are active. So I really need to have both this and this green for it to open. So this is how you can do more complex games or answers that involve multiple action zones. Okay. I don't know if that answers the question, but I want to make sure that you see this and you start thinking about it.
I think
Yeah,
that'd
the
be
ones
great for
that
like
are-
matching, or if you're doing like phonics to like put in like the missing letters or something.
Yes.
I think that'd be great.
Yep. So you can imagine you can have one action zone per letter and have them form words, for example. And as soon
Mhm.
as the word is built, it opens the door or opens the chest or whatever, or
I'm
unlocks the
thinking-
next section. Yeah.
I'm thinking teamwork. I could have the 4 kids looking for different items to put in the boxes
Mhm.
into the active zones. So that way they're working as a team to decode whatever it is.
Yep. That's a cool idea. Teamwork is fun here.
Michelle wants to know if you can open the mailbox.
Actually, Abby's working on a mailbox that opens. Yeah. So that's a cool action. That's a cool reaction prop that we want to add too. Okay, is that hopefully it's clear. So now there's more complicated things we can do. Another thing you can do is you can configure an action zone to connect to multiple reaction props. So for example, this particular action zone here, so it's this one, you can see that it highlights, is connected to, of course, this door. Great. But what if I also wanted to open this chest when it's active? So let's do that. I'm going to add a connection. I'm going to slap it onto the, or snap it onto the chest like that. Now you can see this action zone is connected to this chest and to this door. That means that when this action zone is active, so that's going to be this one, sorry, with the caret, right? I can move the caret inside and notice that the chest opens. Do you quiz, see if you guys are following. Why does the chest open but not the door?
Because the caret hasn't been mapped to, the caret word has not been mapped to
That's
both of
correct. Because you can see that this door is connected to both action zones. Therefore, it needs all the lines coming from the door needs to be green, for it to open. And then now we have one that's white here, meaning that this action zone needs to be active. So if I do this, now this door will open. But the chest is only connected to this action zone, so it'll open only if this action zone is active. Okay.
So you could put the word carrot in the treasure chest.
Absolutely. There you go. Reading my mind.
Love it.
Okay, so that's actually a great thing you can do. For example, let's close this. I'm going to close this. It says pretend we're going to hide the caret somewhere. What's even cooler is that you can actually put. We're going to try to build a fun game together right now, actually. So this is a first pass at it. So I'm going to delete this caret. So yeah, exactly like Kira said, the student can go and get the little caret. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna go grab it from here. It's a little bit far. There you go. Got the caret. Let's bring it over to the action zone. Oh, what's the other one? Okay, this opens the chest. Great. Gives me the caret sticking out, and I can put it up here. And now the door is open. Yay. Okay, that could be one thing we could do. Another cool thing you can do is you can even, let me move this out of the way, put an action zone in the chest, for example. So we can have something like this. Let me delete this for now. I'll add a new action zone. I'll put it in the chest. I can even make it a little bit wider so it occupies the whole chest. Sorry, it's the wrong one. Higher, I mean. Okay, and we can say this will open only if, let's say I'm going to create a new chest. I don't mean to confuse you, sorry. I'm going to build another chest over here that contains the word key, for example. And there's something fun about creating these. I can't even explain why. So I'm going to create a sticky note that says key on it. And what I'll say is, let's see. I'm gonna delete this action zone over here. Very cool. Okay, and I'm gonna say this particular action zone opens up if the sticky note key is inside of it. Okay, so I'm gonna reprogram it right now. Now I'm gonna hide the key in this box. And then maybe this box opens if another action zone has been opened. And I'm gonna say this one, for example, opens if the caret is inside. And I'm gonna connect it to this box. So you can already see how we can do complicated things here where I can have the first exercise be find the caret and put it in the zone. And then it opens this box, which contains the key, which then opens this door, right? But you could also do more complicated things where maybe you have to put the caret in the box over here, which would then will open the door or something like that. So you can chain things together using the chess actually. Anyways, I don't want to confuse everybody here. So any questions, anything that comes to mind?
Joanne wants to know that the students never see the connection lines.
They don't see the connection lines. So they're gonna see this like that. The connection lines are only there to help you when you have the action zone menu pulled up, so that you can see what is what. As a matter of fact, you can even hover over each connection like this so that it shows you what connection is which. So here I know that this connection is the orange one over there, and this one is this one here that's at the bottom.
Somebody
you can-
asked earlier, and I think it got lost in the feed. Can we put one of our imported graphics and put a connection or one of these active things on top of one of our graphics while then layering another, like a word on top of that? So can we take
Absolutely.
and make our own wall design?
Your own wall, your own reaction prop, or your own wall? I mean,
Like,
yeah.
like I have the farm picture. So I could put a reaction zone on top of the farm picture.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. Yeah, the only thing that won't happen, of course, like your images are not going to react. Like you can't
Right.
have
I don't
your-
want that to
your-
react. I
yeah.
want that to be
Yeah.
stationary like this.
Oh,
wall.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
cool.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, you can put an action zone on top of an image. It's not a problem. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully I didn't.
There's another question.
Yep.
Michael is wondering if there will be invisible barriers that only get deactivated if they put an item in a zone.
Mhm.
So this would limit movement until the zone is active.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
so
don't-
that's
Yeah.
that'll be deactivating the student's ability to do anything.
Yeah. So we don't have invisible barriers. I mean, we could probably add that probably. We do have, however, of course, you can imagine having an enclosed area with a door or a gate or something, and the gate only opens if the student solves the exercise. Right. So you can totally do that. But yeah, we don't have an invisible barrier yet. Any other question?
Angel says she's missing the Zelda game sound when you open a chest.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, Abby's working on finding some sounds that can be enabled or not for when you open when you solve or when an action zone or reaction problem opens. I think it's really cool to have a sound. We're working on that.
Ruth wants glass bricks.
Glass bricks. So glass blocks, you mean?
The ice.
Yes, because I
Yeah.
still want stained glass.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you.
But
Okay.
clear. Ruth is totally cool on that idea.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
She wants to see through them.
see through the blocks. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so we can spy inside the house and see if we
That's a
actually
cool
want to go
idea.
in there.
That's a cool idea. Sounds good. We'll work on that.
My kids are always telling me, why don't we have windows? That and pets. That's the other one. I will get that harassment today.
Yes, pets, of course. It's also on the roadmap somewhere.
I keep
Right.
telling him, but every Wednesday, that is the second thing he says to me after hello. Where are the pets? And I'm like, it's so far on low on the engineer's list. It's not a priority yet. No,
I should,
nope.
yeah. We have, yeah, I hear
Not an
you.
acceptable answer to a second grader.
I get it.
Can
I get it.
students access playground outside of class time?
Not yet, but that's something we're working on as well. I did want to, we're making progress on this. We're going to be talking about it tomorrow. We have another webinar tomorrow. We're talking about a proper vision for stories. So this is just, I'm just,
in 1 week. In one
It's
week
not
and
to-
one
oh,
day.
it's in 1 week. Sorry, not tomorrow.
Yeah,
in
it's
1
not
week.
tomorrow.
Thanks, Steph. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. But yeah, we're going to talk about this very soon. For now, this is, I'm just presenting this as tools that you can use in your playground right now, or when this will be published. It's not ready yet, but soon. But
I need sleep head up. Yeah, I need to know when I get to sleep. Give me my plan. Can I access you for Tuesday for all the book clubs?
that would be awesome. We'll try to push it today or tomorrow.
It already has a home. I already know
I know.
where it's going.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only other thing I need is an elevator.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what
Or an upward moving escalator.
Yep. Yeah, or a portal or something. Yeah.
Yes, because my portals only go down, they don't go up.
I know. Yeah, well, we're gonna be adding all this stuff.
They want to know if you can rename the action zones.
Okay, what would be a better name for it? Because it's true that it might be confusing. Oh, you mean rename? You mean set a name for them? Is that what you mean? Or did you mean rename the actual terminology?
Individually.
Oh, individually. Right now you can't, but I think I was thinking about that. I thought that because you can like hover and it shows you which one it is, and it shows you like what active if contains, maybe you don't need that, but if you really need to rename them, we could probably do
Yeah,
that.
I think
Yeah.
renaming would be helpful because I think I could go crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm also wondering, like, as far as like, with the images, our collection of images that we're importing,
Yeah.
there's no like, it's just not an empty bin, it's an overflowing bin, and I have somewhat of organization, but I would love to have subfolders, and I
Yeah.
have a feeling that it could be helpful to have subfolders, but then I'm also worried that I might make too big of a thing again. So stop me.
Well, the fact that you don't have folders is kind of a deterrent from you going crazy.
It didn't stop.
It didn't stop you. Okay, never mind. Okay.
Michelle says that a search tool for action zones might
Yep.
be
Yes.
useful
So you
too.
can search. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So if you had names and a search bar, that would probably be helpful if you start having a lot of them. Yeah. I hear you. Okay.
Especially if the action zone is in another room you can't see when it's
Yep.
highlighted.
Yep. I agree. Very good point.
If you have a lot of action zones and you click on one,
Mhm.
will the correct one come up on the left?
Well,
You
the
mean
correct one.
left or the right, Heidi?
And what do you mean by clicking on it?
On the right, on the right. So
Okay.
if you have a lot of action zones and you
Yeah.
click on one, will the
Like-
correct one come up on the left? On the right, sorry, on the right.
But what do you
So-
mean by clicking on it? Because
Can you click on the action zone you have in the
So
playground?
if I clicked on that one right by key,
So but you mean the reaction prop or the action zone? I'm trying to understand what you want me
so
to click on.
if I clicked on the little white square
Yeah.
by the word key,
Sure.
would it automatically come up in my list on the right?
So you don't select action zones by clicking on them in the world. You select them by using this menu. That's on purpose because if you start having like an object like that on top of it, if you click here, like, are you clicking on the action zone or are you clicking on the object? So what I wanted to
Clicking
do,
on the action zone so I can identify it by just clicking on
Yeah.
it, and then the correct thing would come up on the right, like this is connected to this zone.
but the problem is when you click here, I don't know what you're clicking on, what your intention is. If you click, let's say you have a sticky note in it and you want to click on the sticky note. Well, here you'd be clicking on the action zone. So I wouldn't know what your intent is. You see what I mean?
So I would have to find it on the right.
For now, yes, but yeah, for now, maybe if that's a problem, you probably.
Yeah, that's where I think the naming them would help
Yeah.
slightly.
Yeah, so you can identify them right now by hovering, like I was saying, right? If you hover, oh, this is this one. But I hear you that if you don't see it, it'd be nice to be able to see it. Yeah. So that-
Or if I
Where-
put something,
Mhm.
like if I
Sorry.
put key in there,
Mhm.
then would I have to scroll down on the right to find the one that, but I guess it wouldn't be in there yet.
Yes. Well, maybe I could show like it is, if it's active like this, I could show that it's green, something like that. Or maybe I can have you sort them by active. I don't know. I gotta think about how that would work. But
Yeah,
if you
because
start
if
having
you, if you have
yeah.
50 different things, if you're
Yeah.
doing a big room, like how
Yeah.
do you find?
distinguish, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Might get messy.
And then the undo button obviously is still a concern, and I feel
Yeah.
like this might also make the undo button a bigger necessity.
Yep.
Is that on the horizon?
Yes.
Okay.
amongst a billion things, but yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's on the top of my list for sure.
And the kids can see the box, right? They can't see the
Yes.
lines, but they can see the box.
This is what they'll see.
Okay, perfect.
They
Alright.
can see the box. The birding square, whatever it is. Okay. Any other questions, feature requests? Anything else that is confusing about this, maybe? Yeah.
How many gems are these?
So action zones are free. You can put as many as you want. Reaction props, we're still figuring out the price. Right now they're 1 gem, but they're not going to be 1 gem. I think they're going to be just a few tens of gems. I'm not sure yet. We're considering that. Good question.
Ben, sorry, I just wanted to share something very briefly. I am pretty new to the playground in terms of really using it for teaching. I've been on Koala for a while, but I've just been hanging around waiting for it to get, as awesome as it is now. But after I was here last week with your webinar, and I bought a playground, just a basic one, just to test with one of my kiddos. And it was so cute because as we went into the playground, I said to her, wait, I just need to tell you how this game works. And she went, I can't listen. I'm too excited. And she just carried on and did her thing. And when they see this, wow, you guys are really outdoing yourselves. Really awesome.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, that's so kind. Thank you. Very, very
Thank
supportive.
you.
I appreciate that. Thanks. Well, cool. I mean, like, I always love hearing these stories about kids just having fun.
And they really are.
Good. That's excellent. That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah, well, you're hitting your goal 100%.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, I know this whole action zone might be intimidating, and we do have to do some improvements around probably how to navigate them, etc. But in the meantime, I'd love to hear about what ideas you come up with, because we could definitely improve the system. Basically, the way that you're going to be using these is going to define direction we're going to go towards and how we're going to be improving it, etc. So we really need to hear about how you're going to be using this. If you don't want to use action zones, you can just use the reaction props as is. You don't really need to have action zones to use these. So you can just place a fridge somewhere, right? Place it over here, and then just play with putting veggies and fruits in it. I know that Emily has a few playground, maybe at least one playground with some fruits and veggies in.
Yeah,
in
they're
in
all on the
fridge.
door.
Yeah, so
So
now
I'm
you can
excited.
literally just place them in the fridge.
Yes,
which a
this is
little bit nicer.
amazing.
So everybody knows that you put pretzels in the fridge. So I'll do that. Be a little carrot in there too. It's a little bit big, so let's make it smaller. Oh, wrong thing. And we can close the fridge when we're done. Yeah.
No,
So, yeah.
could you close the fridge because you made it a reaction prop?
But it is a reaction prop.
It is a
like
reaction
by
prop.
nature. So
Oh, I see it.
the fact
Okay,
that you
sorry,
placed it now,
I
you can
didn't
just
see it.
click on it. Yeah.
Got it.
So now reaction props can be, of course, accessed through the story tools menu. But if you actually go to home and decor, we have them as a category in and of itself in there too.
Oh, okay.
So you can find them there as well. Just to show that it's not necessarily attached to action zones. They can be, but they don't have to be.
Are all the reaction props in a different place as well, or just the fridge?
What do you mean in a different place? I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Well, you said the fridge is also in a different category.
Oh yeah, because it was in the, if you go to house, it's in
right.
the, yeah, no, the
So-
other ones are all in the reaction. I didn't categorize them in other.
So the fridge is the only one that's
This is-
also,
There's
okay.
also in the appliances here.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Good question. Okay. That was a lot of information. Do we have, I know we're getting close to the end here in terms of time, so I want to make sure I address all the other questions that you might have.
When will this update be available?
Yeah, we're aiming at a few days from now. That's the
Awesome.
goal. I'm going to France on Friday, so I'm trying to get it out. I'm gonna try to get it out before.
This will be so fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys are gonna do with this. I mean, there's lots of creative things that I probably haven't thought about that you're gonna be doing with this, and I'm excited to see it. And
There's
Tammy-
enough tools there to keep us busy for a while.
Yeah, hopefully.
yeah.
That's the idea. I hope so.
I always get so excited and then I realize, oh yeah, I'm old. I might not be able to do this. I don't know.
Oh no, don't say that. That's not true.
But my grandkids can always show me, so I'm all right.
Sure. I mean, and if it's too complicated to use, then the failure is not on you, it's on us, right? We need to make it simpler.
Well, no,
so-
because I think most people can do it.
Yeah, Ben, you did awesome translating this for us in a way that we can actually like comprehend
Yeah.
it and use it.
Yes.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yes,
I think you guys are, I
amazing.
think you're sensing that we're trying to do like more of a, so you can build kind of your own game, but without having to code. That's the idea. It's like a no code educational game creator thing. So that's sort of the vision that we have for Playground as well.
There's so many possibilities.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, well, I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to do with this. And this is going to be really, really fun, and I'm going to follow it very closely. So
Emily's already measuring the doors.
yeah, yeah. She's taking measurements.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 by 3.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I know that.
1, 2, yeah, exactly. 2 by 3. And they should snap nicely when you use shift, by the way, in the middle here. So that should be cool. Gate is a little bit bigger, as you can see. It's 3 by 3, I believe.
And you
can
can
tell.
change the side. You can change the sizes of like the doors or the chests or anything.
The sizes, so you cannot, however, we do
Okay.
have 3 sizes of chests. We have a small chest, a medium
Okay.
chest, and a large chest. Let me show you. This is the small one right here. This is the large one. The large one is quite large. You can put a lot of things
Ooh.
in the large one. Let me show you
Okay.
the difference in terms of size. So you can see small
Please
one.
don't make that 100 points. I need
No,
that.
it won't be 100 points.
Okay.
Everybody hates this.
You
Tammy,
keep breaking me.
500, okay. 500,
Five-
yeah.
500, is that okay?
Oh,
I got yelled at because I'm always trying to push the prices down, and they're like, "Well, you're just being too generous." Okay, so I said, okay.
Yes, keep doing that.
But yeah,
I'm
so-
still waiting for the discussion about Ben's cat that was locked in the box. Is it
Oh,
alive or is it
I-
not
I-
alive?
Right,
That's a
I was
very
gonna
good
go
question.
there too.
it's
When? Where's it at?
The
Schrodinger's
feeling.
cat right here. Yeah, I wonder, is it alive or not? It's
Oh
discovered.
no.
It does have a detached tail though, which is not good.
oh, poor cat.
Poor Coco. He's okay though. But yeah. So I'm actually interested in what's going to happen because you can put action zones in chests. I'm wondering what kind of theme you guys are going to come up with. It's going to be very interesting. What kind of mechanisms are going to?
The irony is my new reformatted playgrounds for my book clubs. I have a like inside a glacier kind of experience with parkour in there. And there is a treasure chest, which is their signal that they are close to one of 2 doors that they can use to get
Interesting.
out of there. So
Yeah.
now I can just replace it with a real treasure chest and make an action to go
Yeah,
with it.
absolutely.
So
There you go.
awesome.
Yeah, that's the idea.
I think we should not tell our students and just let them
Yeah,
do
don't
it.
tell them.
See what their
Right.
reaction.
I saw that there
I
was.
agree. Yes.
Yeah, I saw one of the teachers brought her son to this webinar. I don't know if you're still there. So keep the secret, please. Yeah. So anyways, I'm excited. Like I said, I didn't show all the reaction props, but we do have a few right now that we're starting with, like a couple different doors. We have a red door, a school door, a wooden door, the gate, the fridge, chess, and we have more coming, and I'm really excited about it. So reaction props can actually serve a purpose, like a chest or a door, but we're probably going to have other reaction props that are just for the purpose of reward. So you can imagine like a rocket taking off, or fireworks, or like you said, confettis, or I don't know, things like that, right? As a reaction.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. Awesome. I
Awesome.
think we're
Thank you,
basically
thank
out of
you.
time here.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Wow.
Thank you.
I'm so
Thank
excited.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Guys are
bearing with me. I know this.
awesome.
You guys are awesome. You just keep getting more awesome each day.
You're sweet.
This is
Um,
really amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Yeah, looking forward to see what you guys are going to do with this. I'd love to hear the reaction of your kids when it comes to, I know it's not like clear whether people are going to like this or not, but the whole rounded blocks and all that. Love to hear what you guys think about this. If everybody hates it, then we can reconsider. Or if there's a certain number of people that don't like it, maybe we can give the option to round or not the blocks. But in the meantime, thank you so much. This was really fun.
Yeah, this was great.
And
I think there should be like the option so that teachers can choose whether it's the rounded or the
Yeah.
squared.
okay.
Because even some kids might have a preference. You can
Yeah.
ask kids, okay, which one do you like? So they can
That's-
also get the students out input there.
Yeah, because it's funny how the whole Minecraft visual thing, it's either I love it or I hate it. I think.
Yeah.
There's nobody really in between. It's like, man, there's a lot of people that really love it or really hate it. So maybe we need to, I don't know, or maybe we stick to our guns and we're like, you know what, we like this visual. I don't know. So we'll see what we decide on that one. It's a good point. Cool. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And of course, we're available for if more feedback comes to your mind, feel free to shoot it to us. And we will be pushing this very soon. Look out for emails. We will be sending out emails when this is all pushed up and ready. Yeah, can't wait to hear more about what you're going to do with this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.